Experiencing God is something that is genuine and comes only when you transcend the mind. God cannot be understood by the mind, because mind is matter, and matter cannot possibly understand something more subtle than matter. Western psychology talks only about the mind, saying, unless you understand by your mind, you can't know something. At the same time it says, but you cannot know everything by the mind. That is all, it stops there. But yoga tells you that you can know something without the mind. There is a higher knowledge which can only be understood without the mind.
As you know, we are here to continue the study of the Sutras. Just think, we all say, I am that I am. We all say the divine is in us. So we have to start living like we are that way, because there's no point to say it without living it, right? And the more of us that really feel it with love, the more, the gods will be happy with us. Lord Jesus said, you are all my brothers and sisters. Do what I do. And what did he say to do? He said, when I know that you love each other as brothers and sisters, you are doing what God wanted us to do. So what is God but the Lord of love? Just keep it simple. Upanishads, keep it simple. The Lord of love. Where there is no love, there is pain. There is pain. There is suffering. We know this so clearly. So how to love in a difficult world? And here Shri Patanjali tells us how to do it. We are moving today to Book 228, which many of you know by heart, which I am so happy about. And even if you know it by heart or you don't, I'm just telling you, this is the medicine for human beings. And Book 228 tells us, I think it was Sandy who asked me the other week, yes, Yoga Chittavriti Narodaha, but how do we do it? How do we get there? It's easy to say these words, but what do we do? And I think I answered that this takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. Please give yourself time. But what do you have to do in that time? What does Shri Patanjali tell us? In Sutra 14, Book 1, see if you remember. What does he tell us? You have to practice for a long time, without a break, and all your heart. Yes. So he doesn't say short time. And he says without a break, you can't stop and start. The moment you start, all the old thoughts will come back in. What does neuroscience tell us? The same thing. Rewire the brain. And Sri Patanjali in Book 2, he tells us that with this practice, right, over a period of time, he says over a period of time, suddenly the old thoughts disappear and new ones start to happen. He calls this process Nirodha Parinama. When this conjunction happens by itself, all those old negative thoughts that you had, suddenly you wake up, yes, they're there, but the new ones are so much stronger that you look at them and you go, whoa. But this is constant practice. You have to, because I always think of life as a game. And we want to be on top of that game. And spirit is the force that runs this, monopoly piece. So if we allow the spirit to run us, rather than our ego and our selfishness and our pride and, oh, how dare you hurt me? You know what? No big deal. When we can have that attitude, who am I to think that I'm better than anybody else? Who am I to think that I deserve better than anybody else? Who am I to think that I shouldn't be hurt when the whole world is hurt? Come on, let's face it. Who doesn't go through a bad time? We can either make it huge or we can make it, okay, this is a learning. This is a learning. I do not want to go into jail. I want to pass go. I want to collect 200. 200 points to be with the divine. And that's what you do. It's a game. You can look at life, lighten it up. This is a university. There will always be trouble in this world. I'm sorry to tell you. It's the planet we chose to learn. But they also say this is the only planet in this galaxy. Maybe there are more, who knows? I don't believe there's any only that exists. I think there's so many things that exist that we will never know about, and nobody will. But in this planet is where our consciousness, we can know who we are. We can know our spirit, and we can make this a Garden of Eden, even though there is so much pain. And that's why we're studying this, so that it becomes part of our consciousness, it becomes part of our cells, and then you really get up one day when everything's going wrong and say, I'm human, this is going wrong, but how do I deal with this to give myself peace? How do I deal with it? And here on 28 of Book 2, Sri Patanjali gives us the perfect medicine. He tells us, okay, you want to get through this, you want to get through this life, you want to understand what it's all about, this is what you have to practice. And he tells us in 28, I don't know why I'm even opening the book, looking for the page, because I know it by heart. He says, by
the practice of the 8 limbs of yoga, the impurities dwindle away, and there dawns the light of wisdom leading to discriminative discernment. Please remember this one. This is the medicine. So he tells you have to practice for a long time without a break with all your heart. He tells us we have to practice non-attachment. Easy to say. I can't be attached to my partner. I can't be attached to my home. Very, very easy to say. But how many can really do it? How many can really, really do it? There's a lovely Sanskrit story about this great guru, and he's teaching all these monks and different people. And in his Sangha, there is a king, King Janak. And all the pupils, the other pupils, the monks and the other people get jealous because they feel that their teacher is giving more time to King Janak than all of them. So the teacher, the guru, can feel this jealousy. So what does the guru do? He devises a plan. So one day they're all sitting in a talk, and then he goes, fire, fire. They're all deep in meditation. Everybody, all the monks, all the priests, everybody ran out. And King Janak was like so involved and not fearful at all. I thought, I can't do anything. I'm staying here in this joy. So everybody came back and they said, oh, there was no fire. It was a false alarm, Guru. And the Guru said, you see, you all have so few belongings and you all ran to save them. King Janak has so much to lose, and he stayed in peace with the divine with no fear. Hard to do, right? 1 in a million. So we want to be that 1 in a million. And that's what you say to yourself. I always say that to myself. I want to be that one. Okay, that's your talk, your self-talk. You know, I want the peace, and I can take my time to do this. If I don't get it in this life, I got many chances. At least next life, I'll be in a better place. And you will be, because nothing you do on this earth will be lost. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna promises Arjuna, all the scriptures, that is promised. Arjuna asks Lord Krishna, and he says, what if I do all these practices? And then by the end of my life, I haven't really got it? What will happen to all this? And Lord Krishna looks at him and laughs and says, do not worry. When you come the next time, you will either be born to a home of yogis, so you can continue your work, or you will come to a very wealthy spiritual family to continue your work, so you don't have to worry about money or things like that. And you will be put into the perfect place where you can grow. So don't worry, your next lifetime will take you there if you allow it to. So don't worry, just do today what you can do today. You know, most people, like I said, you know, everybody wants Samadhi, but they don't even know I'm in Samadhi. Yeah, but you scream and shout and everybody and you're a nervous wreck. What's the point? Are you really in Samadhi? So you know the word? Clever. So you do a few mantras. Oh, I am up in there in the sky. You're there for 2 hours and you feel bhakti yoga. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Next day you're back to square one. Where's the non-attachment? How did that get you in Samadhi? I call that a high. High highs bring low lows. People don't realize that this is really, what you want to get is not the high highs, not the low lows. You want to be steady. I am that I am. I am. So who is the I in me? What's that petrol that gets this going? Do I really have any control? Do you really have any control? Do we really have any control? And in all the practices, I've realized the only control we have is in this moment. And fixing this so that we can be in the moment. Because unless we fix all these thought patterns, we can't be in the moment. So what's the point of looking for all that when your mind is still so crazy? So let's fix this, okay? Now, non-attachment is difficult, but by the practice of the 8 limbs of yoga, these impurities will dwindle away. And look at the word dwindle. Dwindle slowly. Some people faster, some people slower. We don't know. We don't know what our karma is. Does that make you bad or good? No, that's karmic. I have seen in my 30 years of counseling, etc., and working with people, sometimes people do work hard and it just takes a little longer time. And they go, oh, Nalanie, why doesn't it work for me? I said, look at your life. It's actually much better, but you can't see it yet. And this is karma. Maybe you have some karma to just go through. And once that karma is done, boom, the next day you'll see light. And I've seen this happen so many times. It's incredible. I mean, I've seen people come to me and there's such dark places. And I think they only come to me because they look for a spiritual way out. They've seen therapists. So what happens is suddenly something clicks in their brain. Ding, 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 ding. And a few months later, they're incredible human beings living the divine plan. It's almost like karma was over. They just needed to be reminded, I am spirit. Yeah. Yes, I am spirit. Just that memory, and not allow the world or people or materialism, or mostly people, to manipulate our minds and make us think that we're not divine, that we're not loving, that we're not caring beings. People infiltrate that place. You've got to just know who is I am that I am. If I am is the God of love, then how should you live? For you. For you. Live in love. People may not live like you. Be a bit crazy, doesn't matter. But you live in your heart for you. And this is really what is so important. Remember the story, as some of you will not know it, but I will tell you the story again, about me with my late husband on Valentine's Day. And maybe this will help you understand this concept. And I was like, when we were younger and just married, he wasn't a very expressive person to say the words, but he would really hug you and really be expressive that way, but he would never say the words. So I used to complain and say, you never say you love me. Every Valentine I'd get in a strop because he didn't buy me roses, because everybody else got roses. Until I started to meditate and started the 8 limbs of yoga, practicing it, and non-attachment. But the 8 limbs already started to help me, right? So what happened? I was in meditation one day and I saw myself, oh, we never get anything. I go, how pathetic. Right? Really, really, it is pathetic. If you look at it from a distance, why don't I think I'm enough in myself that I'm constantly so needy for some roses? When I have a house full of love, I'm looking for roses to make me happy. So I decided, so I thought about it. And I said, but I need to give that love. Just because he hasn't given me roses, I've stopped myself from loving. And that's why I'm unhappy. I make myself unhappy, not him. It's It's me. So what do I have to do? I have to give roses. Not him give me roses. So what I did is that morning, I went into the shop and asked them to give me the most incredible red rose they could find. So I got that red rose, and we used to work, but he used to go to work earlier than me because I used to meditate. I walked into the shop and I went up to him with this big rose and I said, "Happy Valentine, darling. I love you." I thought he was going to cry, and I didn't get you anything. I said, "I don't need anything. I love you." And he gave me the biggest hug ever. After that, every Valentine, 24 roses. I never even asked anymore. Do you see what I'm saying? He was there to teach me how needy I was and how disempowered I made myself. And men and women do that in relationships. They give away their power and their energy. But God wants us to be in a place of love. If you believe in the divine, we need to do it for ourselves. We can't be so needy that everybody has to give it to us in order for us to be whole. We are saying, "I am that I am." So act as if you are that you are. Act as if the divine is in you. Are you getting this? So how do you get there? 8 limbs of yoga. Memorize these 8 limbs of yoga, all right? You don't have to take a Raj Yoga course. You don't have to take anything. You just have to live this and life will work for you. When I started that meditation, I hadn't studied Raj Yoga at all. I didn't even know who Shri Patanjali was. I just really, within myself, was told by Gurudev, purify the mind, which is all in the sutras, niyama, purify your mind, love where you are, again, non-attachment, stop complaining, by the practice of contentment, supreme joy is. He gave me those few instructions that all came from Patanjali. So of course, when I studied it, wow, I got the golden coin when he told me those 5 words. So when I read it, I go, I have to share this with everyone. Got to share this with everyone. The world needs to know this because I have a crazy mind and I'm so grateful for this. So anybody who has a crazy mind, please don't worry. This will help you calm it down. And I feel very excited to tell you this truth. It is the truth, but I can't do the work for you. Nobody can. Sorry. Can hold your hand, inspire, nothing more. But this is why this is such an incredible science, because you empower yourself with it. All right? So the 8 limbs of yoga are the first 2, yama, niyama. So what is yama? Abstinence. Abstinence from what? Be non-violent in your life. Satya, speak the truth always. Asteya, don't take anything that is not yours. Non-stealing. Brahmacharya, control of the lust sense. Moderation. Continence. And then aparigraha, which is non-greed. What is the cause of all the problems in our world today? Greed. This land is mine. It's not yours. It's mine. It's mine. It doesn't belong to any of us. We'll all be dead. Then who does it belong to? Who does it belong to anyway, this land? Any land. Nothing belongs to us. In 50 years, well, for me, maybe even 10 or 20 years, I have no idea. This won't be mine. Somebody else will be living here. How exciting. I hope I can leave it beautiful for them. It's so nice to be able to leave it nice for anyone who takes it over. I'm just a landlord, a caretaker. Do you understand that? It doesn't belong to me. So while we have it, let's make it a place of joy and love and healing. Healing. This is what we need to do with our homes. All right? So this is non-greed. It is created for service. Make your home a haven, please. This is make your home non-violent. Make your home a home of truth. Gurudev constantly said to us, charity begins at home. Everybody wants to be nice to the world outside, and then they come home
and they're horrible in their home. Hello, isn't that the height of hypocrisy? Home is where it's hardest to keep the peace, by the way. So if you tell yourself, like I told myself, no, you're a real hypocrite, so nice to everybody, and then you fight with your husband at home. Hello. Of course, sometimes you have to fight, which is really good in a relationship because you have to clear matters. And when you're young, you kind of, okay, let's, attack. But attacking doesn't work. And what I learned with this science is non-violence did work. You still say the truth. You still say the truth. But most people, they think once they start, oh, I can't say it. So they keep all the untruths inside them. And then they build up this wall and this anger and this hatred, and that's violence. And the first big person they hurt is themselves. And because they are hurt, what do you want to do? Hit back. Right? So violence starts from there. Yourself. What are you doing? So watch this and keep telling yourself, I release the need to feel this anger. I release the need to hold on to this. I release the need to hold on to the past. Can you all say it? I release the need to hold on to this past. Need it. And what is so important now is this moment. That's all you have, okay? Agami karma, this moment. Prarabdha karma is done, you still have to face it. Okay, whatever you've done in the past, you have to face in the future. And so your future is more or less decided, but agami karma is this moment. Whatever you do now, as you sow, you will reap. And this is the science of changing. So if you're not seeing good things in your life now, what have you sown? Don't worry about that. Think, wow, agami karma, I can change it now, so my future will be brighter. And that's the power of creative visualization as well. You see a brighter future, so you want to do the now to make it brighter future. If you can see it, you can do it. But if you only see dark, you can't do it. You can meditate all you want, but if your thoughts are dark, it's not going to get you anywhere. So that, and don't condemn the dark thoughts. Please understand that. They come to your mind, you recognize them. Oh, it's just a reflection. I can have a beautiful thought and a dark thought. I don't have to do anything about the dark thought. Just accept it and say, goodbye. Don't fight it. It's showing you it's there. So what do? Pratipaksha bhavana, which we're coming in the next few sutras. You replace it with the opposite. The opposite. For me, the opposite is anything that makes you laugh. Joy. Yes, joy. Bring the joy from inside. Or anything you love. Or God, if you're so devoted to God. Because that helped me. I was so devoted to this energy called God. What is it? I didn't know at that time. But now I think it's just this love of energy that just is in everyone, that we just have to awaken. We have to awaken it. And that's Kundalini. That's Kundalini, awakening Kundalini, Mother Kundalini, who's loving. And when you give her love, she will rise up in your body in love. You give her anger, she will rise up in your body, creating havoc with disease. She will create all the diseases in your body. So give Mother Kundalini love. And that's the yama. The next one, niyama, is to do with things that you observe within yourself. Socha, purity, think good thoughts, think pure thoughts. Sometimes we think awful thoughts, laugh at it and say, remember, secret, laugh at it and blow it away. Laugh at it. Laughter takes the heaviness away. Okay? Don't get, oh, I'm so bad. I had this bad thought. So what? I had this bad thought. I didn't do anything about it. No big deal. I'm not going to do anything about it. No big deal. Got it? I'm human.
Maybe that thought is trying to tell you that something is bad, and maybe you should take notice of it. Could be that too. Could be a warning. You don't know. So don't judge it too much. Watch it. It could be a warning. Discriminative discernment could be telling you, this is not good for you. It could be the bad thought could be a really good thought. But because we're so used to judging everything, we don't see the divine in every thought. Okay? There's a divine in every thought if you can see it. So that is purity, and purity of body, looking after your body. We'll go in more detail as we progress. And then socha samtosha, which is contentment. I am content. Are you content?
Yes.
Yeah. What are you content about? List it. If you're not content, say, I'm not happy, Nalanie. I'm not content. List it. Why not? What can you do? Then find a solution. What can I do to change it? Not what somebody else can do to change it. Because if you expect your partner or your friend or somebody else to do it for you and change it for you, you're in trouble. You can never be content. What can I do to change it so that I can be filled with contentment? And then you list all the things in your life that make you quite happy. And you'll find out that there's far more than you ever realized. That you just didn't see it. It's an illusion, Maya. Maya, illusion, it blinds us. And our job is to realize the divine in ourselves, to break that darkness. That's our job. And it keeps coming back like a curtain. The veil of the inner light is destroyed by the practice of pranayama. And we're going to cover that in a while. So then that's socha, samtosha. And then the next one is tapas. What is tapas? Accepting pain for purification. Now, human beings, we're so crazy. There's pain in the world, but we're always avoiding it. And we're going to get it anyway. We avoid pain and we seek pleasure. But I'm sorry, pleasure and pain is part of this earth. We're constantly seeking pleasure. Pleasure. I want pleasure. Pleasure. I always say, ask for peace. You're much safer. You're much safer. Because you can't have pleasure all the time. And happiness is our birthright, but we can't have it all the time. The word happiness is so misunderstood. Peace. Yes. When my late husband passed away, I learned that big lesson. He gave it to me. That you could have peace in severe pain. I never thought was possible. Neither did I think it was possible to go through so much pain. I didn't think it was possible. I thought, with all my practice, I'll never feel so much pain. I had something coming to me, didn't I? It was a great lesson, but I knew it was a lesson. Such a great, and he had to go to give me that lesson, to take me one step higher. So when you see in your life everything, everyone, it's a matrix, that karmic matrix, everything happens in the most painful moments to lift us, it's just to lift us, not to bring us down, never. That's our own selfish, egotistic view. Oh, punishing me. There's no punishment. It only exists here. I really believe that. So whatever happens is just the play, just that backdrop. It's a Shakespearean play I live in. I hope you read Shakespeare. It's quite interesting. He's very deep. And he says, we are but all actors on a stage. That's the truth. That's what the yogic science teaches us. When we remember that, the veil of Maya dwindles away. And for a moment we see, wow, we're getting messages from the universe. We're getting messages from beyond. We're getting them. We are getting them. So that's what you see. And you see the consciousness of what they call the Christ consciousness. You start to see the Christ consciousness. The Savior consciousness. We're here because we are loved so much. We wanted this adventure. We asked for it. Otherwise, we'd just be light. Be nice to be light for a while, right? But that's what they tell us, that we find these light moments while we're living, not while we're dead. Because we wanted that union, that feeling. Yeah. If there's no separation, right? There's no union. So that's what we asked to be born. We wanted to experience that love, that energy, that music, that song, but have it all. But no, none of it belongs to you. Wow. That's the hard one, right? So all these practices guide us and help us make it easier. Make it easier. It just makes it easier. So then accepting pain. Life can be extremely painful. Nobody's fault. It's the way it is. That was my saying. It is what it is. That's it. It is what it is. And every day I will get better and better. And I did, and I have. Doesn't mean the pain is not there. It's there, but it's very soft. It's reminding me how human we are. It's good. It's wonderful. Gifts are given to me because I accept, and this is what it says. When you accept pain for purification, all the gifts will be given to you. And they are. It just comes like a miracle in the sky. Really, without asking, it comes. And that's the faith, and that's the truth. And if it doesn't come, I never was expecting it anyway. Do you see? So this is why in relationships sometimes it gets difficult, because when you live 24 hours with somebody, there will be a little bit of these expectations. And that's brilliant, because it makes you see yourself really clearly to go beyond them. They're great for us to grow even deeper and deeper into the divine. So that's accepting pain. And then there's Swadhyaya, study of spiritual books. Oh, I do love this one, because in the early days, it saved me from my crazy mind. Because when I first started practicing, of course, until you train your mind, practice for a long time, the old thoughts are there for a long time, right? So like I said, and I advise you all, I used to carry little booklets with me, Gurudev's little book, Gems of Wisdom, anything, scientific affirmations for peace by Paramahansa Yogananda. It's a wonderful book. If you don't have it, it's a little orange book. My purse always had space for Swadhyaya. So whenever in a car, in a traffic jam, at work, especially at home, but these books only were chosen to keep me positive, and not only positive affirmations, but much deeper, because they're written by great souls. They had the energy of the divine in them. Because if you get a book of positive affirmations, yes, you read it, it's good, it's done, but it's not so deep. But when you read from a great master, that energy goes into your heart. It goes into your heart because it's so truthful. And so I just would read one line of Gurudev's Gems of Wisdom or Paramahansa Yogananda, take a deep breath, and suddenly I went out and the problem would disappear. It was like magic, like a mist. So these are the nice things to learn and discover, rather than spend time, he did, she did, they did, I'm in so much pain. Don't wait. And when I got these books, Swadhyaya took me away from the silly small talk. The silly small talk that went on your head. Okay, so that's Swadhyaya. And finally, we have in the Niyamas, Ishvara Pranidhanam. What does that mean? The word for the divine consciousness, God, whatever you want to call it, light, Christ, whatever you want to call it, we call it, Sri Patanjali calls it Ishvara. Pranidhanam, and this surrender to God. Whatever you want to call God. Doesn't matter. So surrender. And really, the other word is just let go. Non-attachment. It is that it is. Some things we will never get answers for. Never. Why did this happen? I don't know. We'll never get answers for. So let it go. No need to ask a million times the same question. Why? Some things you're just not going to get answers for. Just move forward. Keep asking and battering yourself. Why did I have this background? Why do I have this parents? Why did It's self-battering, it's self-harming, right? What are you telling yourself? Why me? Why me? Why me? Why me? Why me? And then you collapse, you have no more strength. Why not me? Why not me? And what can I do? I am divine. I am, you look after me. I am your child. You give me the strength to do this work. You put me here, you sort me out. That's what I do every Wednesday or every time I give a talk. You ask me to come, I come. I show up. Even if nobody comes, I show up. But you better work through me, otherwise I'm not doing this anymore. I'm giving up tomorrow, you know. But this is it. I to know this, to know that it is the element, the divine. So, and what has it given each of us different gifts? So use those gifts. Try not to be like other people. Use your gifts that you have been given. This is empowerment. Focus on your gifts. What can you do with it? If you're a person that loves to be around people, then give them your love. That's what you're good at. You don't need to be good at anything else. Just do that. If you're good at being a chef, then just be a great chef. A dancer, a singer, working on the computer, painting. That's how it works. It comes to you what you have to do. You don't have to ask. It will come to you. If you need to do a job, it will give you a job to do. So you just have to live these 8 limbs. So anyway, now we surrender. And then the third limb of yoga, see if you remember, yama, niyama, asana. What is asana? Stira sukham asana. Steady, comfortable posture. Did it tell you have to be twisted in all kinds of ways? No. Steady, comfortable posture. Hatha Yoga was devised to give us inner strength. It works on all our systems. But you don't have to be so brilliant and stretch and do a split or a headstand in order to find God. It's a tool. It's a tool because we are made up of body. It's a tool to help our body to get healthy, to help our systems. I think it particularly for me works on my endocrine system. So Hatha 1 basic and a bit of 2 is enough. So asana is wonderful. Hatha yoga is the way in. Most people find this philosophy just maybe too much to begin with. So Hatha is a way in because we're working on the body. So it's a wonderful thing. But remember, you don't have, many people come to me, oh, I don't go to Hatha yoga. Why? Because Nalanie, I don't do the shoulder stand or I don't do the headstand. Don't worry about it. Just come and enjoy the energy of the class. Do what you can. You're not going to be a teacher. You're not going to be this. But anyway, what is a teacher but one who serves and knows the peace within? You do all the Hatha in the world and you have no peace within. God bless you. You just make your body more egotistical, that's all. And you want to be like a size 8, totally skinny, totally perfect, and so rigid. Hari Om, is that yoga? No. What is yoga? Yoga's chitta vritti nirodha. The restraint of the modifications of the mind stuff is yoga. And what happens? The seer abides in its own true nature. What you all said in the beginning, the I am. So that is the benefit of Hatha. And as you stretch, and if you do the bow pose, and if you can't do the bow pose, just do the cobra as you stretch. All the emotions that are stuck in your heart and your stomach and all the chakras just gets a little released and the toxins are released. So that is why it's beneficial to do Hatha yoga. So now we have asana, then we have pranayama. Pranayama is breath control. As you think, it becomes. But sometimes the mind is so crazy. It doesn't stop. So you can't change your thoughts. That's when pranayama comes in. All you need to do is, let's do it quickly now. Inhale.
Hold your breath. Open your mouth, exhale. Hold your breath. Open your eyes. So you see, even for that few seconds, just a little piece, a few seconds. So we build up on those few seconds. And so this is why we do pranayama breathing practices. It also brings more oxygen to your body, 7 times more oxygen. And so that helps you to have more energy to realize the self. Shri Patanjali tells us later on, which we will be covering in depth, by the practice of pranayama, the veil over the inner light will be destroyed, because you can feel the inner light after a while when you do breath work. You do half an hour of pranayama and wow. But you need to do it with an experienced teacher because you don't want to get too high too quick. So you need to do it with an experienced teacher. And that makes you feel, you can see what it does to the mind in a little while, pranayama. So the next one is pratyahara. So what is pratyahara? Sense control. Thing is, we have these wonderful lenses, camera here, tick shots. Oh, I love this. And we have this mouth, the taste, I need to eat it. And then the smell, oh, this is so good, I have to have it. And then the hearing, oh, this person's told me all these things. Oh, my life is not like that. I want it, right? And then, I'm so needy. I need this so much. I need people to give me so much love, whatever. So all these touch, taste, sound, right? These are our outward. So in the Bhagavad Gita, you have the 5 horses. Arjuna is holding the 5 horses, and the 5 horses are that's the senses running out. What are we doing in pratyahara? Holding them in and trusting the divine to look after us. And that's the 12-step program, right? The first, I don't know if you know, the first one is to not believe in a higher power, that there is a God, to believe in that higher power, and that higher power will take you through this. So this is exactly trust. But we have to do the shutting down. This is not good for me. This food causes me illness. So sense control. Learn about yourself, listen to your inner voice, and the universe will send you a message the following day or the same day to confirm it. It's always happened with me, every single time. I've given up something. It's happened to me. I get a voice saying, this is not good for you. And I listen. I trust it. Doesn't it say in the Shri Patanjali mantra, we thank him because he gives us medication for the health of the body. That's the mantra. So anyway, so now we've done pratyahara. Then these are all physical, to do with mind and body. Now the next one gets really more inwards. Dharana, concentration. Learn to focus. Tratak is a practice that we will do when we come to Dharana in a few weeks' time. And staring at one object and just focusing on an object is a brilliant practice. In my early days, I used my Guru's picture and I just stared. And then the qualities of that person come to you. Really, it's quite incredible. But Dharana, learning to focus, it has to be a practice. And especially for those who are working, your mind's everywhere. I've got to do the groceries, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, I've got to do that, I've got to cook, I've done so many things in the head. So the practice of dharana is really important. So during the day, if you find a little time, what I love to do in my busy life, because my life is really busy, is I would like to look at the trees, even my office upstairs in between. If I have a job to do, like I was telling Vicky today, I'm separating lots of
my kids' photographs, because if I should die, I don't want them to have to clear up my stuff, right? And so I'm doing that whenever I have 2 minutes. I'm just focusing on that. When I don't want to do that, because some days I don't, I just look at the trees and just focus on the leaves. And within 2 minutes, I feel like I've slept so well. Because there's nothing, do you see? There's nothing, just a green, incredible creation, God's creation. What? And that reminds you again, God's creation, reminds you who you are. Not your creation, God's creation. And you stay in that creation, you stay in that moment. And that's dharana, focus. If you're doing a job, focus, do it well. Do it well, finish it, look at it. Don't do one end and go there and go there and go there. And mom, talk so much. You don't do the job. Just do the job that comes to you properly. Focus. So dharana is really important. And then and that helps to focus. The mind always goes everywhere. That trains the mind. A wonderful practice for dharana is mantra chanting, okay? And then we go to dhyana, which is meditation. So when dharana is focused, meditation happens by itself. Once you focus, and boom, you see the divine in everything. And from meditation, we go into samadhi, which is the goal. Absorption, just absorb. That you can't make happen. You cannot say, I'm going to go into samadhi unless you're a great saint like Ramakrishna or Gurudeva, one of them. So you just do up to dhyana. And when the time comes, samadhi will come by itself. And they're different. We talked about it a few weeks ago. We talked about the different levels of samadhi. We spoke about the 4 samadhis. So savitaka, do you remember? Savichara, Sa'ananda, and Sasmita. So there are different stages of samadhi that through our practice we can reach. Even if it's Savitaka Samadhi or Sa'ananda, the joy, or Savichara, the energy of different essences filling your inner soul, that's good enough. Just keep going and keep working on it. So now we finish the 8 limbs of yoga.